Hello, I'm Jason with Wet West. We are here talking about the Leonard mixing valve today, the Proton. As far as maintenance on this, the only two things you got to be looking for is the error codes. One will be for your temperature sensor here. The other will be if there is something wrong with the valve itself. Setting up the system, it's pretty much all set for you. The only thing you may have to do if you want to is just set the actual temperature on it. To do that, all you do is go up, down, enter, and it'll go through and they'll start flashing there what you want to set that at. After you set your desired temperature, just hit enter again. They'll save that set point, and that's pretty much it. There's nothing really to monkey around as far as throttling or mixing it. It's all done automatically here through the valve.
Maybe a quick question on that. Is there any reason the system temperature would change where they would need to come in and verify that, or is it going to stay right where it's at?
Should stay right where it's at. Unless there is a valve failure, which that'll come up as an error. If there's something wrong with it, they shouldn't have to mess with that at all. I believe there are individual mixing valves at all the fixtures as well, kind of as a backup redundancy, so you shouldn't ever have any hot temperatures going through your fixtures.
So I saw you unplug it and then it seemed to come up, so in a power outage it automatically goes back to its
to its original setting. And what I did is when I unplugged it, it showed me the full sweep of the valve. So there's a shuttle inside the valve, and it's self-cleaning. So every night that shuttle will transfer from one point all the way over to the other, and there were 1,300 steps of cleaning on that valve. So if it gets down to about 800 or so, that's when an error code will pop up and say cleaning.
So speaking of error codes, is there documentation possibly that we probably have it in our O&Ms that shows any error codes and what they are?
In the installation guide,
awesome.
Right back there. And there's only two of them that you're going to see. You'll see one for the temperature sensor or one for the valve itself. And they'll display right on that bottom line that there's an error code on it.
Okay. Last question. Not that, or I should say, I'm not a pool guy, so is there anything outside of your system that is associated with the pool that other people are providing, hot water heaters, whatever, that would have an effect potentially on your system? Like if it's doing something wrong, it might trigger something in yours? I know that's kind of a weird, broad question, but...
No, the only thing that's going to happen is those heaters fail. So if there's a power outage and those tanks are drawn down for some reason, you've got, what, a 100-gallon tank there?
Yes.
If for some reason you lost 200 gallons of hot water, this valve's going to fail to cold. It's not going to...
Yeah, you're just not going to get any hot water.
You're not going to get any hot water through it.
Okay.
Once again, if there is a power outage, it will reset itself and it'll come back to the temps that were set. It won't go back to a factory setting. It will be going back to what you did. We are local, so he lives up north. I live in Roseville.
Nice.
And then, of course, there's technical support at Leonard. That there's 3 engineers there that are awesome.
Okay.
The nice thing about the electronic mixing valves is there's no valve.
You're not throttling.
I'm sure you've seen them before at other schools where you got to go up and you got to throttle this valve, you got to turn this valve down to.
And then you got to sit and wait and be like, oh, that was too much. I got to go back the other way now.
Yeah, there's nothing you really have to do with these because once you set the set point, that shuttle does its own moving back and forth to get your right temperature through there.
Nice.
Any other questions?
For wear and tear on like replacement parts on it, is it how often you have to replace like sensors and that kind of stuff? Is it?
Well, these have been out for probably 4 years now.
We haven't changed any.
I haven't changed anything. There's been one cleaning.
Nice.
But beyond that,
And you're on like city, you
hard
don't
water.
have like well water, really hard water here, so you shouldn't really have to mess with it.
And
You know,
city
if you
reservoir
do have
should
to
be pretty
change
good.
anything on here, you just kill power to that, and then you can change everything out and then repower up that unit.
Okay.
Awesome. All right.